Hello YouTubers, my name is Alfred Lyon, machinist, cutting tool engineer, and car enthusiast. So I only buy used cars because I like to pay cash for cars, but my wife and I decided on taking a 2-week trip to Wisconsin from California. So we rented this Toyota RAV4, it's a 2018, and it had 437 miles on it when we started, and now it has 5,083. So I thought, hey, why not put a little review up there in case anybody's looking to buy one of these, and you know, give them my 2 cents on it. You know, as a used car owner, I've kind of always felt like all these little gadgets that they have on there now are just distractions. You know, people want the next best, they want the next best thing that's in there. It's all technology, none of it really has anything to do with driving. If anything, it distracts from driving. So let me tell you a little about the car. It's a RAV4 XLE all-wheel drive. It has the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, 2AR-FE, 176 horsepower, 172 foot-pounds of torque, and going up the mountains and everything, no problem. Really no problem, especially if you put it in sport mode. There's a lot of it takes it no problem. It's not a sports car. It's not flying anywhere, and if you don't have it in sport mode, don't try to get out in front of anybody. So I was just kind of going to go through some of the Toyota safety sense things on here that most people would want to know about, and show you what's going on here. And I think, like I said, as a used car owner, I really felt like most of this stuff was useless. So let's see, let's turn it on here. So of course it has push to start. Now, because I've driven it so far, it already comes up with the maintenance. It wants them to take it to the dealer, which they probably will, or whoever they have fix the car at the rental company. So, you know, it has this neat screen in the middle, which is not as distracting as this one here, which actually isn't distracting at all. I turned my Bluetooth off so that it wouldn't be coming through and ruin my video. But it's very easy to navigate. The nice part is that the climate controls are separate from the touch screen, which I really don't even touch it that much. When we had CD, you touch that and this and that, and it has some apps which I never used. You have to download this to, I have an iPhone, so I had to download that to get it to work, the GPS, and it was next to useless. So I ended up just using my Google Maps for driving around. Stuck one of those things in here and put my phone on it, and that worked fine. But it has the outlet there. It's got a USB here for not only for data but for also charging, aux input, Bluetooth, of course, sport mode. Anytime you turn the car off, it turns the sport mode off, so you want to turn that back on to get it to have some more oomph, you know. So as you can see, coming home, I was coming down from on the Sierras in California, got around that many miles per gallon on the way down. Overall, the whole trip, almost 26 miles per gallon. So you see there's 80 hours of driving right there. And it gives you all sorts of different stuff. It's this all-wheel drive, so it tells you what wheels are working and this and that. And that was kind of interesting to look at when we were on dirt every now and again. Then it has, you can have if your songs are, if you're connected, you could have your music show up there so you're not looking around for it, you know, which keeps your eyes on the road. This was the radar cruise. Really cool. I mean, you don't have to have it on this screen. You put the radar cruise on, and I'm a believer now. Basically, you set your cruise, and if a car comes in front of you, and you can set the sensitivity. I had it probably at about 4 car lengths, or 3 to 4 car lengths, before it would say, hey, you know, and it wouldn't even say anything. It would just slow you down to their speed. So in other words, if I'm cruising along at 85 miles an hour and I'm not paying attention, the car, and all of a sudden I could be going 70 because the car in front of me is going 70. Not a really big deal, a little annoying if you actually could pass the guy, but really great when you're going and you can't pass or anything like that, because you don't have to put your foot on the brake or the gas at all. It'll slow you down and speed you up based on where your max limit is set. I mean, it was just a really, really cool system. And Toyota's had it for a long time. I have a 2008 Lexus GS350, and I don't have it on my car, but it was an option. So that means that they've been working on that kind of technology for a long, long time. And it's my understanding that they've had that technology even on their 2001 LS430. So they've had the technology for a long time. They've worked on it. They've made sure that it works right. And then the next, and it'll slow you down to like 5 miles per hour and then keep going. As long as you don't tap the brake, it's amazing. Of course, it has the pre-collision and pedestrian collision system that is not associated with the radar also. So, you know, you're always, I mean, you have to pay attention to the road, but it really makes driving, especially long drives, a breeze. Let's see, what else is there? Maintenance required. So LDA is lane departure alert. So you got your anytime you go over the lane, it would beep on you. You can turn the beep off, you can turn it off if you want completely, but I kind of liked it. You know, you're on a long road trip, it's nice to have that. Along with the lane departure is steering assist. Let's see, it's, yeah, right there. So that's on, and that thing is really neat. So in other words, if you happen to swerve over or something like that, the steering wheel will bring you right back into your lane. It's really, really cool. And then it'll tell you, hey, hold on to the steering wheel. It's pretty neat. It doesn't say it, but a screen will pop up that says that. And then this is, of course, pre-collision. You can set how sensitive you want it to be and whether or not you want it to be on. Blind spot monitoring. You know, I think that is the best part of all of these safety features it has, because everything else, if you're paying attention, you're not going to worry, you're not going to make a mistake. But I think everyone has gone to change lanes and not looked well enough and almost hit a car, or even hit a car when they change lanes. So this thing is amazing. You basically, there's a little light on the you can see that little outline right there. Anyway, you've all seen them on the road. They light up on the mirror when a car comes next to you. Well, if you were to go to try and change lanes and there's a car next to you, that light blinks like crazy and really lets you know. When we were on our way home, we had the back of this thing packed up to the sky. I couldn't see behind me, and that thing saved me a bunch of times. So I think the blind spot monitoring is absolutely necessary. And just really easy to navigate this with this button here. You navigate the different screens that are there, and really easy. You can, you know, as you go back, you set your trip meter, tripometer, or whatever you want to call it. The cruise control is where it's been in Toyotas. I have a 98 ES300, same thing. Everything's in the same spot. So it's just amazing. You know, Toyota will keep everything so you can know where it is. Of course, it has auto headlights and fog lights, and it also has the auto dimming high beams. So you know, when we were on some dark 2-lane roads, you have the high beams on, you don't have to worry about forgetting to turn them off. I mean, it's instant. As soon as it senses that somebody's coming, it turns the high beams off. It's just amazing. Of course, you have your radio controls and, you know, for the mode, and also answering the phone and whatnot like that for your Bluetooth. Just lots and lots of features. Tons of cup holders. Right, you got 2 in the door here. You got one down here. You got one over there. We actually could fit a can of soda in there too, in that little coin area. Then 2 cup holders over there on the passenger side. And then you got cup holder. Basically, I mean, you could put anything in there, but you can also fit a cup holder in there. You can also, I think, if it's like every other Toyota, yep, it has cup holders in here as well. Something neat that I noticed earlier when I was cleaning the car, believe it or not, you know, most people don't clean a rental car, but when you take it 5,000 miles, I felt bad. So right now, as you can see, the seats are straight up and down. So you got this lever here, and you can recline them. And I know that's probably no big deal for all you new car owners, but I never had that. So then you got your back seat here, I mean your trunk here. Plenty of room. We had this packed in solid and there's just plenty of room. Of course, rear view camera. See that? Yep, right here. Sometimes during high wind and rain, that would get dirty, so you'd want to wipe it off when you filled up. But other than that, it was a wonderful backup camera that I have it on my 2008 Lexus, but it doesn't have the cool lines like this. I'll show you if you haven't seen it. So let's see. As soon as that thing gives you all your nice warnings, they put it in reverse, and it has these lines here that are the red line there. Basically, that's probably about 1.5 feet, 2 feet from the car. So it's really really cool. And the blue lines are your wheels. When you turn the steering wheel, it's showing you where you're aiming, and the yellow lines are your actual where you will end up. So it's pretty neat. So that's about it, I think. I don't think. Oh, you know what? I will tell you, my wife, as the passenger, she had a couple of complaints, and they were valid. If you're sitting in the passenger seat, you get blinded by this screen here because it's up at an angle. I don't know if you can tell that. So this screen here, there's certain times during the day where it would just blind her, so she'd have to put something over that, and that was annoying. Also, there's not really anywhere if you're going to put your phone other than getting one of, I had a thing here that came out and bent, and then you just, it is a magnet and you put your phone on it. I think if you didn't have that, there's not really anywhere else to put your phone. I tried a couple of suction cup things and they're just all in the way, so that was the best for that. The way the vents are situated, if you put one of the kind that click to the vent, that would probably cover the air conditioning, and that you wouldn't be able to cool off. So that was a couple of things that we noticed that was a little annoying. Cup holders have these nice things here that flex in so that your cups don't move around. It holds extra large cups. So that's about it. If I missed anything, it's probably because they didn't supply the owner's manual. So if anybody has any comments or things that I missed or that they want to talk about, let's go ahead and throw them down in the comment section. At any rate, I was impressed with this car, and I don't think I would buy it, only because it's a new car and I don't buy new cars. But I think that the power, it did well, but I like a little more pep in my step. You know, that's what I like right there. But anyway, as a car, not compared to any other cars in its own year, model, or make, style, SUV or anything, just compared to itself, I was an impressed used car owner to be able to drive this thing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Let me know.